People always talk about wanting to find themselves or find their purpose. And what this kind of implies is that you are currently not in your purpose, or you are currently not yourself. And I kind of realized this because I'm in a process right now where everything is being stripped away from me. I'm currently in the process of moving abroad to another country. I feel like everything I've known is kind of being, stripped away from me. And this process is kind of like taking away of everything that I thought I was, even if I didn't like it. I wouldn't say I loved my life back in Florida. I'm currently in Massachusetts right now, staying with some family until I move. But the point I'm trying to make is that you say you want change, but then when you actually get that change, you reject it. And it doesn't make any sense. It's because you want to find yourself. You want to find your purpose. And like I said, that implies that you don't have it. So it's like you still get sad when you lose what isn't yours. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I was just realizing this is because I didn't necessarily love my old life, but it still feels excruciatingly painful at times to step into an unknown place. And I think this goes with yourself as a person and your life, because if you want to be a new person, if you want to inhabit new traits and stuff and present differently, I think this goes hand in hand. Is because so when you identify with certain insecurities of yourself or certain pain points that you have, it's like it almost hurts in a way to not identify with that, because you created this insecurity so much in your identity. So when you actually have the opportunity to be a new person, you reject it, because it's like you're used to constantly looking for that trigger of who you are, or at least who you don't want to be anymore. It's like you find it in other people. You find, okay, they're treating me this way because I'm this negative quality of myself. And you're constantly bringing yourself back to everything you say you don't want to be. And this also goes in hand with like your life purpose. You're constantly reaffirming everything you don't want to be. Somehow I'm in pain thinking about my past life that I didn't even like. And I'm thinking that is me. But I'm kind of, in a way, you kind of know what I'm saying, right? It's like I'm identifying with something, even though I didn't want that to be my reality, because it was me for so long. So it almost hurts in a way. So it's like to find yourself is to lose yourself, because finding yourself means that you want to be somebody new, and you can't add on if you want to be somebody completely new. Or you can't add on to your life if you want it to change completely. And with change, what I realize is that it's going to feel painful. I feel like I'm dying sometimes because, and I don't say this to be dramatic, but I'm kind of in a waiting period where I'm waiting for change. But I think when you learn to let go of who you thought you were, then everything just begins to change. Right now I'm completely free from my past and completely free from like anything that had to do with my old home, my old life. But somehow I still feel connected to it, and this is obvious. Like, I'm letting go of something big that was in my life for so long. I was in Florida for about 6 years. But yeah, I think this is part of why people never change or they seem to stay the same is because they're identifying with themselves. I'm kind of talking in circles here, but damn, this wind, strong, very strong winds, very strong winds. My hair, it's in desperate need of a wash and redone, but we'll ignore that. But what I was saying, that to summarize this all up, I think that basically if you want to change, I don't know, it's kind of just like an ego death, I feel like, because it's showing you everything that you aren't. Exactly, everything that you aren't. Because to identify with your old life and feel pain when it isn't you anymore, even if it wasn't serving you, it feels painful because at the time you were identifying with your circumstances or with yourself at the time. So in a way it's an ego death because your ego was so tightly knit to, you know, that version of yourself. So right now I kind of feel like I have nothing, like, if I'm being honest with you. Like, I don't know what to grasp onto. I don't know what to cling to, because everything that became my routine, everything that became my identity was just pulled away from me. So my ego is kind of in this, you know, this scared fight or flight stage where it's desperately trying to grip onto, you know, the past, or just like anything basically tied to my past, you know, even if, I don't know, even if it wasn't relevant anymore, it's just trying to find something to grip onto. So that is why it is so painful, is because, you know, your ego just wants to identify with something so badly. So if you want to change and if you want to become a new person, or if you've already asked for change and you're not accepting it to come, I think that if you feel resistance towards the change or towards your new direction in life, then that is the time where you really, sorry, there's like wind. Then that is the time where you really need to meditate, go into meditation, go into yourself. Once you realize that everything outside of you isn't yourself, is when you need to go back within yourself. Because definitely there are times when you need to put something above in certain situations. Like, you don't need to focus on meditation all the time, but I think it's good in a way to always kind of have that mindfulness or knowing. But in a time where your ego is being challenged and you're trying to look for outside resources, I think that is the best time to meditate and to find yourself in a way, because yourself is everything that you are. It's literally just everything within you. So if you feel like you lost yourself, or you feel like, you know, you need to find yourself, that's basically just saying that you don't identify with the ego anymore. I feel like I was just rambling for a bit, but I'm currently in a waiting season of my life. I'm waiting to move to Thailand with my family. I definitely want to improve the quality of these videos, but as of right now, I kind of just want to post and see what happens. And you know, I'd appreciate it if you share kind of what you've been going through as well, because, you know, you're never alone. And, you know, this life can be so much more expansive if you just allow it to be, and you stop holding on to things that are not you. But yeah, that was pretty much it.